Hello and welcome to Screenplay, the podcast where two professional screenwriters procrastinate on Mike. I'm Mike, and he is...
Procrastinate.
Well done. I'm Kevin, he's Will, and...
Subscribe.
This is the...
podcast where we take something topical and we discuss it and pick our top three if we have one to pick, or recommendations. I'm not looking at the script, so I'm just going, oh yeah, I'm here. Do you know what I'm doing? I'm looking at box office numbers.
We take something topical and pick a top three from the big and small screen.
There we go. Sorry. That's it. I'm looking at box office numbers. Sorry, I got distracted.
Welcome back, everybody. This is going to be another great show. Will, how are you getting on?
I'm amazing, Kevin.
So, Will, it's been an incredible summer at the movies.
Yeah.
You were just saying before we got on mic that this is the first summer since about 2019 where it felt like the movies are coming back.
Yes.
Why is that?
Because this is the first year, not even just summer, but I suppose we can include earlier in the year, the first year where we have 5 films, and we're not finished the year, that have broken the $1 billion worldwide box office takings.
What the fuck?
We can probably say it'll be at least 6, because Doomsday will probably do well, and Doom 3 might.
And Doom 3 is a very good shot, and Doomsday, yeah. So we could say 7. And that, we haven't gotten that close to that many blockbusters since the gargantuan year of 2019, which in my kind of loose cinema history, my kind of theory is that the blockbuster era of cinema as we knew it ended in 2019. That's when...
Why? What happened in 2020?
Everyone decided to stay at home for some reason, and decide to say, hang a sec, we're doing hermits. We're doing hermits from now on.
Do you know what I really like?
Hold on, just finishing, closing that thought. There were $9 billion movies and plus in 2019, released in 2019, which was extraordinary. Nearly double any other year, more than double any other year. Sorry, Kevin. Continue with your quip.
I can't remember it now. So we went out to see Spider-Man, which is now, at the moment, as of recording, it's on 1.67 billion.
Yes.
Like, it is enormous. It'll probably cross 2 billion, I'd say.
Yes, definitely.
I don't think anyone saw that coming, but we did do a box office league at the start of the summer, and I rated that one quite highly. I put it in... I can't remember exactly what I went for, but I did predict it was going to do really well. A lot of the films that came out this summer, some of them I got bang on, and a few I massively missed the mark. Those being stuff like Moana and Supergirl. I thought they would do a lot better than they did, but I did still think that they wouldn't do as well as others would have predicted them to do. So I thought they would underperform, but I didn't think they would underperform so much. But beyond that, I think for this episode we're going to talk about Spider-Man, and we're going to talk about the summer season so far, because it has been an incredible year for films. I've really enjoyed going to the cinema this year. I've not really come out of it and felt anything was a waste of time. So that's good.
And what I want to do is, because my spreadsheet inclinations are rising high in me, and I have the spreadsheet data in front of me. So I'm, as we go into discussing the box office, summer box office and reflection, I'm going to look at how we did in the competition between Kevin and Will.
That'll be good.
Who won? Who was the closest estimator? Who would be the best studio executive? And because I have all those numbers right here in front of me.
Yeah. Well, I already know the answer to that, just based on 5 years of being on mic with you. But also, this Spider-Man is the last summer blockbuster, isn't it? There's nothing big coming after that.
No, there's no huge release. That End of Oak Street thing is coming out, but it feels like a very typical last gasp of summer, kind of like the leaves are beginning to turn a little bit brown. And we're going to kind of like find that window of
leaves. Everything's turned brown. Everything's been scorched to fucking death. That I'm looking forward to that End of Oak Street thing. I'm always sort of keen to see more dinosaur films, but fuck off with feathers on dinosaurs. I don't want to see feathered dinosaurs. Dinosaurs need to be giant lizard monsters. No more feathered dinosaurs. They look stupid.
And they need guns. They need more guns. They need, like, harnesses where you can attach, like, M60s.
Dino Riders. Do you remember them?
I do. That's where my brain is going. And give them lasers. Give the fuckers lasers like God intended. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Lasers on sharks, like Austin Powers.
Yes. Come here. We should talk about our experiences with Spider-Man Brand New Day.
I'm Spider-Man.
The hell, Frank? You just hit me with a van!
Quit your whimpering. Suit yourself. Mother.
Go home!
Okay, well, I loved the film. I thought it felt like a great throwback. It didn't feel as MCU coded. What I do like about these Spider-Man films is they feel kind of separate from the MCU.
Because they kind of are.
Yeah, they're a bit more hermetically sealed. Even though one of the weak points of this new Spider-Man film for me was over with bringing Black Widow into it. Do you want to give him the synopsis? Before I start getting straight into spoilers. But at this stage, I would reckon everybody that wants to see that film has already gone and seen it. Because you don't get to 1.67 billion without
They need it.
luring in a few geeks.
The Spider-Man Brand New Day is directed by Destin Daniel Cretton, who did the Shang-Chi film and Short Term 12. The quick synopsis is: fighting crime full-time as Spider-Man in a world that doesn't remember him, and the pressure of seeing his old friends move on without him sparks a change in Peter Parker he may not have the power to control. But that transformation might also be the only thing that can stop a shocking new threat to the city and those he loves. A powerful villain no one can even see. The same villain from Supergirl, the 1984 film. An invisible threat. An invisible villain. Isn't that good?
The Supergirl thing was a witch. I guess you could call this one a witch. Listen, spoilers for the film, but the big reveal in this that now I think everybody knows is that Sadie Sink is the villain and she's playing Jean Grey from the X-Men. And so she is a tortured villain. Again, the thing they do really well with these Spider-Man movies is they always make the villains quite sympathetic.
Mm-hmm.
And she's another sympathetic villain. She's on a quest to find out what happened to her sister who was taken by damage control. And she has sort of do you remember that movie Fallen with Denzel Washington?
Oh yeah, I do.
The devil kept body hopping. She's able to do that. And so it made her quite a formidable threat to him. But honestly, what I thought of the film, I thought it looked great. I loved that it held on to the story threads from the last film, which I really loved. I wasn't too keen on the first two Spider-Man films. They were sort of there. It was like, oh, he's a good Spider-Man, good cast, some great moments. I remember the scene where Michael Keaton was revealed as Vulture, and he was in the car, and I thought, oh, it's good. There's some good moments here. Didn't really like the Jake Gyllenhaal one where they were on holiday in the Venice canals and stuff. It was fine. It was like a plug-in play type movie. But the team-up movie, the last one that had sort of all the Spider-Man coming back home and all the villains, I thought that was great. That was so much fun. And this one, it's a darker film. It's a more introspective film. But I love the action in this. I thought the fighting was particularly strong. It was like the best flying through the city type sequences, and the action at times felt to me quite Matrixy in a good way. The story was fine. I was interested in it. I liked the Punisher. I liked the side characters. But I remember there was a scene in it where MJ, Zendaya's MJ, and Tom Holland have a scene where they basically, it seems like she's remembered him, and they kiss. And then it turns out that it's the villain in her body. And I thought, oh, this is fantastic. This is the stuff that if I was writing it, I'd be like, oh, this is a great scene. But as I said to you, to kind of just give a more even, balanced take on the thing, the moments where I was like, I don't think you need this, was the Yelena stuff. The stuff where he goes to the Russian bats. And if I was looking at this from a mercenary perspective, like, okay, they need to keep some of the Avengers stuff in here. but it didn't track with me from for the character of Black Widow based on who she was in Thunderbolts. She was much more like depressed and suicidal in Thunderbolts, and I know they kind of arced her a little bit, but she's back to now being a comic foil. I think she's brilliant. Like, I think she's so good in the role that you'd almost forget Scarlett Johansson. But I feel like that scene was only in there because they liked the idea of Peter Parker wearing the mask and not wearing anything else. The visual was like, oh, that's such a funny motif. And I do like the fact that now Peter Parker has a secret identity again, whereas in the past, everybody knew who he was. But on the whole, really enjoyed the film. Thought it was a great throwback to how superhero films used to feel like. Looked great, worked for me, and enjoyed all the patter, and thought, this is just what I want. It didn't end with the whole world being fucking shot with a space laser and world-ending events. It was much more smaller, and I got a kick out of it. Enjoyed it.
That's interesting. I think we're almost having a reverse Odyssey experience. Remember, you in the Odyssey? I was like, I loved the Odyssey from minute one, and you were like, oh, you just saw all the artifice. And in this film, I saw all the artifice, and I was like, I'm not engaged in this film. I'm not engaged. This is good. That's good. All the things you mentioned were good. Although, what I'm not as hot on the film as you are. You
didn't like it?
No, I thought it was good. Right? I didn't.
Okay. I
didn't think it was
very, very good.
Yeah, I thought it was good, and I wanna try and dissect why I felt that way. Since the Odyssey,
depression,
maybe, but I watched the Odyssey like recent times. Since the Odyssey, myself and my gang here,
the Odyssey was a depressed film.
Myself and the gang have been on a bit of a late summer movie voyage because they don't have to go to bed as early. We get Chloe down. It was like, I'm like going, guys, do we want to watch a movie? So we've been watching kind of old school, like, what did I show them? We watched all the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight movies. We watched the Speed. What else? There's been a bunch of kind of like action, kind of a little bit
What
older.
did I think of Speed?
Loved it.
Yeah.
We watched Stand By Me. Love Stand By Me. All that sort of stuff.
Really?
So we've been in this kind of like cinematic education voyage where I'm kind of going, okay, now kids, now it's time to watch the kind of the good stuff, and let's see. I'm watching their reaction. So they went into this having seen those films, and I came out of it, and my first thing to Luke was, and I said, Luke, what do you think of that? He went,
yeah, it was okay, I guess. It was fine. Like, it's definitely not the Odyssey. The Odyssey is the greatest film I've ever seen, and this was okay.
He thought the Odyssey was the greatest film he's ever seen?
Yes. Yeah, he loves the Odyssey. He thinks that the Odyssey is like this. Remember, he's 12. He's 12, so, but like, it's a fucking great film. With regard to Brian O'Day, my reaction was...
The Odyssey was a bit too slow-paced for him.
He loved it. He loved it. Absolutely loved it. It was so fucking dark. It was so dark for so much of the film, Spider-Man Brand New Day, that there was times I was looking at the frame. I was like, I was watching this, I was looking at the frame going, over 50% of this frame
100% is your projectionist.
Do you reckon so?
Because the film was not dark. The film was gorgeous.
It was so,
it had more contrast, but it had more contrast in the way that the Sam Raimi films had contrast. It was not a dark film.
I would consider the Sam Raimi films to be quite bright in their color palette. And this, to me, I was like, and I was thinking, okay, this is very much a conscious aesthetic choice because of where the character is in his life. He's isolated, he's remote, he's feeling alone. I went, okay, this is where it is, where he is in his life, and that's okay if you are making that choice to reflect that. The other thing that I missed, and I am a person who I really enjoyed the first Tom Holland Spider-Man film. I thought that was just such a breath of fresh air. It was so bubbly, it was so popcorn. But he was such a related. But I enjoyed the fun of Peter Parker and his gang and his world and whatnot. And this, I suppose, is a testament to those relationships that he had with his friends. I desperately missed them in the same way that Peter Parker's probably missing them. I felt the absence of the joy in those relationships, which is probably the intention. You're supposed to feel like something's missing. So the kind of the experience for me was a little bit, I knew something was missing myself as a fan of these films. And then another thing was the length. I felt like I wasn't, there's another point I really want to make about the visuals. I felt like I had watched Spider-Man, the entire season of Spider-Man Brand New Day, the TV show, because the story had so many chapters that I felt like, okay, now we're going on to this phase of the story. Okay, now we're moving on to this next part of the story. It was like 1 hour and 45 minutes, and I felt it. I really did feel the length of this one.
Strange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing became apparent to me. Which
All right,
is something,
it's dead, Will. You don't have to keep kicking it.
but this is something that you brought up before, and this was the first time I was in a film, and it was apparent to me, was the center framing of almost every shot. And in the last half an hour, I had to make
the Mad Max sort of approach,
where it felt like everything was consciously framed center frame, so that it would be TikTok friendly, so that you could, everything can be transposed on TikTok. In the last half an hour, I had to consciously look at the corners of the frame to give my eyes a break from being locked in, exhausted, locking in the center of the frame. And once I noticed it, I couldn't stop noticing it. Every shot, every character is right in the center of the frame. Every shot's in the center of the frame.
Will is neurodivergent.
This is something you've said. Oh, everything's just locked in the center. I'm like going, oh my God, it is. Oh my God, look at the shot.
What did I say that about? I remember that was something that they did consciously for Mad Max Fury Road, because it was such a busy frame that they kept the focus of attention always in the center. Maybe I was talking about Obsession, where Obsession, it's a square image. It's not the Academy ratio, but it's
I know what you're on about.
Similar to it. It's like 4:3. It's like an old big back telly sort of frame, or an Instagram reel type frame.
Yeah.
So that you could watch it on a phone and it'd be fine. I didn't notice that with Spider-Man, really. I thought it was gorgeous looking.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Maybe I need to go back and watch it again. But no, listen, I'm saying this.
But you're not going to.
I'm saying I'll watch it when it's on streaming. I'm saying this.
So you're basically in the camp of, superhero movies are done. They're finished.
I was
over.
I was in the camp of, I've just come off watching the Christopher Nolan Batman films, seeing and enjoying.
Which ended really bad with Dark Knight Rises.
Even the Dark Knight Rises isn't. I enjoyed. Am I going to say I enjoyed Dark Knight Rises more than I enjoyed this? No, I'm not going to say that. I think
because that would be insane.
It would be an opinion. It would be an opinion, which would be like, that's for sure. But I'm trashing on this film. It sounds like I'm trashing this film, but in actual fact, I'm not. Like, there were a lot of things I enjoyed about it. Again, I noticed that Tom Holland changing his accent for this one. I noticed him going.
Yeah, I did notice that. I kind of liked him as more of like a New Yorker.
Yeah,
he was
probably a very specific Queen's accent. He was trying to do.
Come on, man, stop it. It's like, okay.
I enjoyed Frank. I enjoyed himself and the Punisher. I thought that was really good. I love the scene that you mentioned with him and Zendaya, MJ, up on the rooftop where he gets back. And I remember feeling that I felt the pang of that one. Did
you like Sadie Sink as Jean Grey?
I thought she's competent. I thought she's fine. Do you know what I mean? It's hard for me to accept anybody else as Jean Grey other than Famke Janssen, because she was so distinctive in that role. Yeah. Stranger Things, it's really hard for me to separate anyone who is in Stranger Things in anything else. It's really weird for me. I have this very strange... my brain has been wired in a weird way.
It's like seeing somebody from Coronation Street in a movie. It's like,
yeah. That's that feeling. It's going to take a while for me to transition out of thinking of them that way. Where was J. Jonah Jameson?
Nowhere. I don't need to see him anymore. I've seen him enough times. What's he going to be doing? He's going to be barking. I mean, they made him into the Alex Jones of that universe. So, but maybe he went bankrupt and he's in prison. Who knows?
There might be I think there's potential. There's probably a potential place for a future storyline involving him, making him more integral to the story.
Maybe.
There's
I like
something
the
there.
suit as well this time. I thought this was a good looking suit. I don't like the Spider-Man suits they've had in the previous ones where they're kind of digitized and they've got all the nanotechnology and gold embellishments and stuff. It's too busy. I like this sort of spandexy thing.
And he was really bulked up, Tom Holland. My God, he was much more. He wasn't this whippersnapper. He was really bulky in this.
I didn't notice it in the film. I mean, he's always been fit, but I didn't notice him being so hench until people posted pictures online, and I was like, "Oh God, he really was massive. Like he looked like really bulked up." He also did. He was talking about his fitness regime for this, and it was something like he does, we'll say, 10 pull-ups, 10 press-ups, 10 squats, and he'll keep doing that to failure. And the highest he got was 25 reps. And so these guys trying to replicate it, and they were all like collapsing after 10. They couldn't get to 11 to 12. And for him to have done that 25 times, like,
oh my God.
He's but that's the ballet training in him. Like, wasn't he a ballet dancer as a kid or something?
Yeah, he's incredibly athletic.
So you thought it was just fine then? I really enjoyed it. It's a shame.
I was in it just fine, and I was just reflecting. I went,
I hate when you yuck my yum.
I've got two my two superheroes. I've got one Marvel favorite superhero and one DC favorite superhero. And from DC, it's Batman. Batman's my favorite DC superhero. And from Marvel, it's Spider-Man, and it always was Spider-Man. And I don't think this was a bad film. It's certainly not like Spider-Man 3. It's certainly not like the two Andrew Garfield films. I think there were a lot of competent things in here. I just felt the machinery of the franchise at work, where it was doing a lot of heavy lifting for bridging the gap between one Marvel property into and building us up towards was it Doomsday?
I didn't notice that. I thought it was a very closed ecosystem with this film.
Sure, Dan.
But bringing in Jean Grey, it's kind of like planting the X-Men are going to be happening, and also holding back on Jean Grey.
But if you didn't know that she was X-Men, it was just a good villain. It was just a villain who had a similar issue to him, a psychological issue that was very similar to him, that he could be healed by healing her. I felt that it was a smart choice and that she didn't feel out of place. She felt like a really good villain to have in a Spider-Man movie, rather than him being up against another middle-aged man with mechanical... Like, they put in Scorpion there, which is fine. I did like that whole montage where he was fighting like all the other C and D tier Spider-Man villains like Tombstone and what have you. Mm-hmm. But I thought it was elegantly done.
I don't know. And I when we revealed Jean Grey at the end, the film goes on a kind of a tangent of, no, this is Jean Grey's origin story, her backstory, and what.
But they do that with all the villains. All the villains have that.
I just felt it went on. I felt it was like too much of a tangent for a Spider-Man story. There.
We could be like doing Doc Ock and saying, why do we need to see Doc Ock's wife? Why do we need to see Doc Ock being such a decent man?
But it's doing it at that point in the story. With Doc Ock, for instance, we see it, the inception of it, in Act 1 or early Act 2. It's kind of like the bridge of it.
But this was a mystery. We didn't know who the villain was because she kept body hopping. It could be anybody. It was sort of like the character was all over the place. So I felt like structurally you had to do it that way.
Yeah, I was just like, when it was revealed who it was, I was just like, all right, yeah, it's Jean Grey. I was like, okay. I just felt the kind of the air left the story for me. And I was like, oh,
so if it was like Mary Johnson, you'd be like, oh, Mary Johnson. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I was like, all right. Okay. Formidable. Yeah. Oh, and for my kids who had no idea who Jean Grey was, they were just like, oh, even Luke came out and he went,
God, that was a really terrible villain.
And I was like, what do you mean terrible? I was like,
I am just not really interested.
I was like, okay. Well, he wants He wants big claws and big fists, and he just wants big, dangerous, scary, smashy stuff. That's what he wants from these villains. But yeah, listen, I still thought it was decent. Like, it was good, but I just didn't think it was.
And I thought it
amazing.
was great. I think it is up there with being one of the best Spider-Man movies ever, and certainly it's on par with the last No Way Home as the best Spider-Man movie for me. It's
Wow.
I would say the three best Spider-Man movies are Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man No Way Home, and Spider-Man Brand New Day. They're all 4-star films.
No, wow. I put it in the middle of the pack. It's definitely not as bad as the worst of them.
And I would put it up the top, like in the top 3.
Yeah. There we go. Well, it's interesting. With two different opinions, two different experiences.
So there you go. We both really enjoyed that film. And
I enjoyed it. It was good to get out. I enjoyed it.
yeah, it was good. It was good to get away from the house. So I give it a half a star extra for that. Yeah, well, I don't know. 1.6 billion. I think most people are on my side on that.
So those are the people who paid the money to go in, who had to take their family to. It's not a reflection on. Well, it probably is a reflection on how much people are enjoying it. Hey, what other films? No, let's go through it. I can tell you, right, that the other film that's made over
Do you
$1
ever
billion,
notice that you say everything twice? Tony, 2 times.
the Super Mario Galaxy movie made over $1
There
billion.
you go, twice again.
That is certainly a sign of quality. That is certainly a sign that was one of the
Quality.
best films, and everyone loved it. Everyone who paid a ticket to go see that film loved
I've not
it.
seen it.
I've seen it. I've seen it.
And did you love it?
I slept like half the adults in the audience. I slept.
Okay.
Right. Well,
Yes,
Spider-Man
let's
closes
pivot.
out the summer season. Let's go right back to the beginning of the summer because, as I said to you, I'm trying to think, did I have a bad cinema experience this year? I don't think I did. I think I chose judiciously, but I really enjoyed
Wisely.
everything I've seen. Yeah, wisely, I should say. So for me, it's been a very strong year for the movies. Like, I felt excited again by the movies. There've been a lot more original films that have really worked for me and that have done well.
Mm-hmm.
I just watched The Invite last night, which isn't part of a box office league. I thought that was terrific. It was such a good old school film that really made me laugh, looked fantastic. I came away from that thinking, I've never really noticed Olivia Wilde before, but she's a fucking brilliant actress and she's so funny in that film.
Can you compare it to something else to give me a kind of equivalent out there that you've seen, so I can kind of calibrate my brain to what it is?
It's kind of like a Woody Allen movie.
Okay.
It's a dinner party film. Olivia Wilde and Seth Rogen are both a married couple that are going through a real rough patch, and they're bored in their lives. And it's a chamber piece. It's set almost entirely in the apartment. Olivia Wilde invites down the upstairs neighbors, who are Penelope Cruz and Edward Norton, who are a recently together couple that are. To tell you any more would be to kind of like spoil some of the fun of it. But it is a contrast between one couple that's on the rocks and one couple that are completely besotted with each other, and all of the social tension that comes from that. Seth Rogen instantly takes a dislike to Edward Norton. He's much more of a loose spirit, very secure in himself, very calm, very just comfortable in his skin. Penelope Cruz is a sex pot and very funny in how secure she's a sexologist. And Olivia Wilde is really uptight and desperately trying to make a good impression and try to broaden their horizons, sort of like, I don't know, make a good impression with somebody. She feels really constricted. And Seth Rogen is just totally checked out. He's pissed off with Edward Norton and he's ready to sort of like have an argument with them to get them out of his house. And that energy between the four of them. And then, of course, stuff happens, but it is really, like, Olivia Wilde just really surprised me. She's very funny. I'll give you one tiny example of what I mean.
We're on the topic.
She burns the dinner, and so she's desperately trying to make a good impression. They go into the kitchen. She opens the oven. The food is burnt. She takes it out, and she casually throws it into the bin while she pretends to look at the flan. and while they were like looking at her, and it's just this kind of like, it made me realize she's a great physical comedian as much as like it. You could imagine Diane Keaton doing that, or like the old school 80s like comedians. Seth Rogen is brilliant in it. I prefer him when he's playing a real person and he's not so broad. He's not so like going for the big exaggerated reactions. Edward Norton has never been better. Like it's been a while since I've seen him this comfortable and this sort of smooth while being really kind of like smarmy. And Penelope Cruz is just a brilliant like physical actress. Like the way that she will communicate uncomfortableness while trying to be polite. It's just a film that loves the actors and loves the script. It's written by Rashida Jones and her writing partner, and I just came away from it thinking like it was great to just watch some brilliant actors navigating a very simple premise, and it's all performance and it's all a script, and it's really well directed. It's hard to do those things and make them cinematic, but I thought this is such a treat of a film. It started off a bit shaky. I was like, I don't know if I can watch a film where people are just arguing. But once the doorbell goes and the other couple pop up, it's like, oh, I get it. No, it's my favorite thing, which is about people putting on a pretense. So pretending to be in good form with each other, whereas we've just seen them like arguing about everything. Like, will you fold up the bike? That bike, I can't fold it up. That kind of like domestic sort of spats that just keep going and
nipping
going
at
and
each
going
other's
and
heels, and just like nip. Yeah. When they're gone, you're going to get it. You're going to get a lashing. Yeah. That sounds good. Okay, I'm putting that on my watch list.
But other than that, it's been a great year, I think, for films.
It's been fantastic, and this goes back to probably why I impulsively decided to kind of like to give the box office kind of like our box office game a go again was because I was looking at the schedule, the release schedule, and got excited by the titles that were coming out for the season. I went, oh my God, a lot of these films I'm kind of interested in going to the cinema to watching, and I'm kind of curious to see how they'll get on. So I very quickly just kind of rattled together a spreadsheet and sent it out to a few of us. And so what I want to do is I want to see how both Kevin and Will did against each other in our competition. And Kevin, you kind of already noticed who wins, but I'm changing things up, right? Because I'm going to score us like it's a penalty shootout. Okay? And basically, whoever gets closest on a movie scores a goal.
Oh, okay. That's fun.
No, whoever wins, basically, whoever is the closest.
And what do I win if I win?
My respect.
I don't want that. I want something good, something I can use.
But there were a few other films that came out that were like that. I did not. In retrospect, if I had thought about the list of films for more than 10 seconds, I would have put them on the list. But to be quite frank with you, those films that I didn't include,
Frank,
were Backrooms, Backrooms and Obsession, and I didn't include them because I genuinely didn't even think they would. They wouldn't
out
even
of touch.
feature.
You would never make it as a studio exec because those films have ushered in sort of a cultural wave.
Yeah,
even though we've always had sort of YouTubers that have made the jump to cinematic motion pictures. Because look, Dan Trachtenberg has come up a few times on this. He began that way, but there's been more than a few of them.
That one, Iron Lung, came out last year.
Yeah, that came out this year. But those two guys are notable for being particularly young. Like, I think the Backrooms guy was 18.
Christ.
So, I mean.
Wow. I haven't seen them yet, but I will watch them. Did you see both Backrooms and Obsession?
I did, and I really liked both of them. I thought Obsession was terrific. The main actress in that, well, the whole cast is great. The guy, Michael Johnson, I think his name is really good, and I can see him having a big career. This has also been a year of like huge breakouts for actors where I've seen people arrive on the scene and go like, oh, they're going to have a big career. So he's one of them. Another one is the main actress from that film. I think her name is Indy Navarrete. I think.
Okay.
I've only ever seen it written down, so I don't know how it's pronounced. She's absolutely sensational in that. It is an amazing performance, and there's a couple of moments in that film where I went holy fuck. Reminded me of Ari Aster's Hereditary, where it just gets you with a shocking sort of reveal. That was directed by Corey Barker. He's going to have a big career. And Backrooms, I thought, was people are misusing this word a lot lately. People are saying singular when they mean single, but I'm going to use it correctly this time. I think that guy's got a singular vision, and the way that he blocks his shots and the way that he frames things, and his eye and his ear for presenting a new kind of horror on screen is kind of Kubrickian in a lot of ways. I think he's going to have a huge career as well. Ken Parsons, I listened to an interview with him, I think it was the Town podcast, and he said all the right things. He's very mature for his age, but he also is not somebody who wants to be a filmmaker. It's just that that's the way he wants to express his art at the moment. So he's not really driven by wanting to be the next Spielberg or anything. He just knows how to do this, wants to do it, and did it, and was less sort of fussed about how people responded to it or anything. So I love hearing that. I love hearing somebody who's they
don't give a shit. They're just going to,
It's not that they don't give a shit. They absolutely give a shit, but they're not trying to replicate what they've seen before.
Yeah.
So many horror films over the last few years have felt like, I want to do this again. I want to replicate Aliens. I want to replicate Gremlins. I want to replicate something else. And he has no interest in doing that. And therefore it just feels far more refreshing and interesting and exciting.
And I want to.
Both those films did really well, didn't they?
This is what I want to bring up because it's fucking amazing. Let me just take a look here at. For instance, worldwide, Backrooms is the 11th highest ranking film globally. Backrooms. It's made $393 million. That's more than the Mandalorian, more than the Moana remake, more than Disclosure Day. That's incredible number, incredible amount of money. And then Obsession is number 10. It's the one above it, and that's made $475 million globally. These are incredible numbers. I'm like my exec hat on, going, "Oh my god, I'm firing myself for not seeing those."
It's
movies.
not just that they've made that; they're making that in comparison to their budget.
Oh, so, I know.
Obsession has probably made 25 times its budget.
Yeah. And Backrooms, what was the budget of Backrooms? I think it was 20 million or something. Christ.
He was so impressive to these executives that they gave an 18-year-old. He was taking meetings on this when he was 16.
My God.
Seth Rogen spoke about having met him, and they were saying, "Why are you taking a meeting with a 16-year-old?" He was like, "I don't know, I think he's really talented." And then he met him and he goes, "Yeah, he's going to be a big deal. He's got it, whatever it is."
Wow.
So
that's
yeah.
incredible. Huge. These, I think it's a really positive story from this year to have had these two titles, these two filmmakers come out and just blow the bloody doors off and open, really highlight that the young generation are interested in going to the cinema. That the cinema is alive. Cinema's alive and well, and it's not IP properties. It's not remakes, live action remakes. It's both are original stories. Fantastic. It's a fantastic success story. So it's a win-win really. So it's brilliant.
So we didn't predict those films, but we did predict pretty much all the others. So
the first
do you want to get into it?
Yeah. The first one was Mortal Kombat 2, which I have not yet seen. Okay. Now, you don't recall.
I've not seen it either.
You predicted 84 million.
Yes, I was going to say that because I went off of the last film's box office, even though it came out during COVID.
Yes.
And I think I gave, I think I said it was going to do around the same.
Mm-hmm. And I gave it 200 million. And my thinking was that, that was the numbers it made back then was because it came out in COVID. And if it wasn't in COVID, it would actually done a lot more money. And it didn't do as well as I was hoping. It didn't do 129 million, which ultimately meant that between the two of us, you were closer by about 15 or 20 million in like how close we were. So that was a score for you, Kevin. You got one.
Of course
so it's 1-0 to Kevin.
Ding, 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 ding.
1-0 to Kevin.
Then get used to it.
Yeah. Then we had The Mandalorian. Okay. The Rise of Grogu.
I think I overshot on this one. I think I said it was going to do a little bit better than it did.
You said 395 million. And I said...
so I was pretty much bang on.
I said 350 million. So I was almost... I was 5 million off. So I was more bang on than you were bang on. So that's a score for me. So now it's 1-1, Kevin. It's 1-1.
Wah.
Yeah. Then becomes...
That film really fucking flopped. That has really, massively degraded the standing of Star Wars, where it just feels like, the MCU is still banging hits out there. Star Wars can't even get to 500 million. I don't know. And they just cancelled the film recently, didn't they? There was somebody's film, Star Wars film, they just cancelled. It was Paul King. Paul King had a film that was about a robot in the Star Wars universe, and they cancelled it.
Oh, wow. Off the back of this, I'm sure that has to be the case.
I don't know if it's off the back of it, but it was cancelled recently. And the rumors were the executive said, this needs to be about a character that's known to the Star Wars audience. We can't do a film based on an android.
Wow.
Or a droid.
Oh, wow. Okay. The next one is what I consider to be my nostalgia folly, which is Masters of the Universe. I
can't remember what I put in for that.
Well, you gave it an estimate of 200 million.
Oh, okay.
And I thought listen, this is, again, my thinking at the time going, hey, this might be funny. Kind of early word was slightly positive on the film, but it flopped as well. And that one made just 313 million, and it's already on Amazon. The Amazon website.
It didn't. It made 113 million.
Sorry, did I say? Sorry, 113 million. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
You were 80, so that meant you were 87 million out. I was 287 million out, so I was way off. I kicked it way into
2-1 to me.
It's 2-1 to Kevin. It's 2-1 to Kevin.
Don't call me stupid.
I'll say this: the film is fine. The film is fine. It's a bit awkwardly structured. I think we spoke about this on a bonus show. The prologue is way too long. It's missing huge, crucial chunks of the story of this Adam character. And I also think the film should have been a lot more gayer. I think they should have made Adam way gayer than he was. They kind of hint at it. They kind of do some things where they're kind of like, making him into a bit of a Chippendale for a laugh. But I feel like the character, the way that he's written, is almost crying out to be a gay superhero.
Oh, yeah.
And that would have been so much more fun. They could have had so much more fun with that, and they didn't do it.
Well, in this particular political climate, are you surprised?
Yeah,
that they went to
it's
safe
fucking
option?
terrible though, because it's like that would have given that film a Barbie kind of edge to it.
Yeah, something
and
a bit
I think
new.
it would have.
Go Chippendale.
Yeah. See, there's been no gay superheroes, so I can't think of one to point to. But I feel like it's crying out for, like, when you're looking for something to do, to have an angle at something and to have fun with something, do that. Do it. Remember that Disney animated thing, and they scaled it all the way back. The kid was...
Oh, Luca?
Luca. And they kind of eradicated all of his idiosyncrasies that made him particular and special, and just made a generic... thing. I think we've enough generic heroes now. Do something specific.
The funny, going back to the original, like the 80s toy line, like they were so unique. Like they were ridiculously, they had abs on abs. It was just, and I'm sure for certain kids, they might have had confusing feelings when playing with their He-Man toys when they were kids, because it's like there's so many. It was like if you compare your He-Man toys to your my Star Wars toys, or whatever they were, the plastic,
but they were
toy soldiers.
They were a reaction to that. They wanted to create
the 80s.
There was that great documentary series on Netflix, The Toys That Made Us.
Yes,
and they go into the history of He-Man, and they wanted to get away from the 3 1/4 inch whatever standard toy of like G.I. Joes and Star Wars, and create something that was bigger and make them more like Conan the Barbarian. I think they couldn't get the rights to Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah,
so they created their own things. But weirdly, I like the toys more than the cartoon.
Yeah, but because it was look at the inception of this like world. The inception is quite cynical. It's like, we want to make a toy franchise a successful toy franchise. We have this
worked
brand.
on me.
Now let's create a TV show to advertise the toys. And at its core, the story of He-Man isn't something that's like the Odyssey, where it's like, oh, it's got, there's great drama in there. It's not. These are action figures, and the drama was something that each child made themselves, which is something that is probably absent. That was great about Barbie, the kind of the storytelling of the Barbie movie, where they actually went on the meta journey of like, okay, our Barbies are connected to a real person out there and whatnot. And I don't know. I actually haven't seen all of Masters Universe, so I don't know what particular avenue or strand of the story they explored, but there's something about the meta-ness of a toy that should be exploited when you adapt it into a feature film.
If you go back and you watch those cartoons, I've seen clips of the old cartoons, it's like, God, they were really ropey. But in the 80s, an awful lot of the cartoons used to have to come with a morality addendum, and like He-Man saying, hey kids, your body is your body. Don't let anybody touch your body that you don't want them to. If somebody is touching your body, you need to speak to a parent or an adult that you trust. That kind of thing. And it was like, whoa, where did that fucking come from?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Hey kids,
He-Man would come in and he'd
don't
give
smoke
them a sort of a Sesame Street.
Yeah, don't smoke asbestos filter tipped cigarettes, kids. It may be fun and it may be strong in your lungs, but by God,
cigarettes are for your dad, not for you. When you're older, you could smoke as many cigarettes as you want, but right now, you need to abstain.
As you said, the Mr. T-ness of it. That was, I remember that.
Mr. T, Captain Planet, G.I. Joe, they would all sort of end the episode with, some sort of like, hey kids. But I don't know. I also thought that Jared Leto was quite fun in that, but they could have done a lot more.
He's great, correct, that Jared Leto. Not according to a documentary.
Michael.
There you go.
Another film that made $1 billion that we didn't include in the box office.
Because that came out before. Yeah, that came out like in March or something like that. So, no, it was...
Still haven't seen it.
Still haven't seen it. It's made over $1 billion worldwide. It's over $1 billion worldwide.
I can't wait for Michael 2. When they get real deep into the 90s stuff.
Yeah. So the score currently is 2-1 to Kevin. You're keeping tally in your head. Then
I'm not keeping tally. I don't give a shit.
Well, I'm doing it here. I do give a shit because it's important. The Scary Movie reboot came along then after that. Didn't see it?
Not going to see it.
Didn't see it either. The film it actually did pretty well. It made 231 at the worldwide box office, which is actually not bad. From our point of view,
nostalgia's a hell of a thing.
Yeah, from our point of view, you estimated 175 million. I estimated 145 million, so slightly less, a small bit smaller, which meant you were closer by 30 million, which means it's a score for you. So it's now 3-1 to Kevin.
Yeah.
3-1 to Clevin. Then we went on to Disclosure Day. Clevin.
Get it right.
As we say. I can't speak now. Disclosure Day came up next.
No.
Like, people say it's disappointing, but it made 240 million. I know it probably is. I don't know what the production budget was.
That is disappointing. It used to be that Spielberg owned the summer. Like, he basically kicked off the entire idea of summer blockbusters. So to come out with, I don't know, I mean, the film wasn't that great, to be honest. It had some good moments and a lot of ropey moments. So it did as well as it should do, but it's a shame.
He hasn't been a big blockbuster maker in a long time. I'm just trying to see what was his last big. Or maybe if I can go on here.
I would guess that it was Minority Report. I mean, I loved West Side Story, but I don't know if that did that well. Ready Player One, did that do okay?
It did well, yeah. Ready Player One made like 450 million at the box office, and that's 10 years ago. I don't know if he's had one since then, and my numbers are failing me right now, so I can't see it. The estimates for that, you estimated 300 million, I estimated 250 million, which meant I was 10 million off. I was very, very close. So that's one for me. So now it's 3-2. 3-2. Then we came on to the never-ending Titan, which is the Toy Story franchise, Toy Story 5. I know my kids went to see it. Karen took Ellie and Chloe to see it. And funny enough, Karen came out of it. And
we enjoyed it. Yeah.
You enjoyed it too as well. You were there as well. She said she did hear a guy behind her, like munching on popcorn and just like laughing at the wrong moments and really outrageously laughing.
We were both asleep beside each other.
Karen came away from that one and she said, it definitely wasn't as good as all the others. She said it was lacking, and I haven't seen it, so I don't know. So it was
the last one made $1 billion as well. Toy Story 4.
Yeah, but Ellie and
I've
Chloe,
not seen 4 and 5.
Thought it was. I saw 4. I thought 4 was decent, but it's certainly paled in comparison to the original 3. So currently, it's made over $1 billion. It's at basically 1.1 billion. From an estimate standpoint, from a scoring standpoint, let me just pull it up here. You went 1 billion and I went 800 million. So you went like billion. So
4-2 to me.
4-2 to Kevin. 4-2. Next came Supergirl, which you saw in the cinema and I've seen about 40 minutes of. I started watching it. I said, I'll download it and I'll watch it. I will say this about Supergirl. I like the effort they've gone to make practical alien costumes.
That was all good, but there was no joy in that film. But it did feel very Star Wars Cantina.
Yeah, and I was enjoying that. I was enjoying the Star Wars Cantina bit of it. I actually didn't like the CG dog, which I was really surprised by because I know you're
join the club.
I thought it was fine in the first one, but there was something really, the CG dogness of it was like, if they had actually used a real dog, I know you can't do things with a real dog that they do to a dog here, and it's probably cheaper and easier.
But the reason they won't use a real dog is because it would make the CG dog really apparent when they use it, so they kind of just keep him consistently fake.
But it was a bad CG dog. Like it was.
I thought that whole film was ugly looking. I mean, the practical effects were great. I liked the effort to make her a distinct character. I think, there was a lot to like about the approach, but it was a gloomy, sour, dour film, and hooking the entire thing on a kid actor who couldn't act. I'm sorry to say, and yeah, it just didn't. I thought it was bizarre to make such a downbeat, sour superhero movie, especially when it's Supergirl of all the characters. Like, add some fucking color to it, put some pep into it.
They could have, yeah. When it comes
who's it for? Like, think about it. Who's that movie for?
I don't know. Is this for people who are into the comic books, into the kind of the really?
But they diverged massively from the comic.
What I'm talking about is element of the comic books that engage with the outer world, the space stuff. There's a whole vein of DC comic book stuff.
We've seen
that's
that
in
with Guardians
space.
of the Galaxy. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think the DCU or DCEU, whichever one it is now. I think it's fucked. I don't think it's going to last.
It's very, very sad. And the thing about it is, I'm looking at my kids, and they were expressing no interest in seeing Supergirl. The only things they were interested in seeing is, we want to see. They want to see Spider-Man. They had no interest in seeing The Mandalorian, and Luke wants to see.
What do you think is not connecting with them? Because I feel like we have discernment, so we can tell. But I wonder for kids, Like, what is the disconnect there?
It's a good question. Again, I don't think it's that these films are being, not that they're not being made for them. It's more that I'm trying to think, they've no interest in, they don't have any grounding in these characters. So for instance, Spider-Man, there's something about Peter Parker as a character that inherently speaks to people, you know, as in to young folk in particular, because he's a youngster usually.
I'd also say that Spider-Man has never been not part of their lives. Like, there's a Spider-Man version out almost every 2 years. The Spider-Verse movies, like, because Sony have to put out a Spider-Man thing every 5 years or they lose the rights, they just keep banging these things out. The Spider-Man video games, he's popping up in the MCU movies, so there's way more saturation for that character. And of course, Zendaya and Tom Holland are well-known actors who are in a relationship together, so people are just interested from a parasocial aspect. I think Supergirl is like a new concept to them. They would have no idea who she is. They wouldn't read the comics. They wouldn't have seen her in anything else. So you're having to sell them on the She-Ra of Superman.
Yeah.
And I don't know if she has the stuff about her that I didn't even know about. So,
but then this is another thing, right? Okay, I know for a fact that Michael has excuse the term, has penetrated their consciousness and their awareness, right? And I'm talking about I'm talking about people. My kids are they're listening to Billie Jean, they're listening to Michael Jackson as a result of this.
That's great, fucking me. Oh, they're listening because of this.
But they haven't watched the film, but it's entered their awareness. It's entered their stream of consciousness. The kind of the universal hive mind of their group. Michael is a thing. That music is there.
I think you're only really an icon if you were born after the time when somebody was at their peak and you still know of them and you still have some awareness of them. Like we would know Elvis. Do you know what I mean?
But this is not the case in Michael Jackson. Like they do not know they didn't know who Michael Jackson is. They're aware of this song and a few of these pieces of music and and it's
okay.
So what I'm saying is, no question about it, Michael, as if the film has really reached that age group in a way that's totally surprising because he's an 80s, early 90s icon.
Well, Michael really did speak to kids, you know.
Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. So it's very hard to tell. And from a franchise point of view, then from the other angle, for instance, like the likes of the Minions and Despicable Me and Toy Stories, the more so the Minions stuff has been in the awareness of kids from when before all my kids were born.
From when they were kids, yeah.
So there's been a Despicable Me movie out every 2 years, and they have a familiarity with the iconography and the sense of humor and whatnot. So it's an easy sell for them to go and see these things. Likewise for Luke, for instance, dinosaurs. It's like he saw the Oak Street trailer and he was like, the end of Oak Street, and he was like, I want to go see that. That's the film. I desperately want to see that.
Isn't it funny that we're all just the fucking same? Like when I was a kid, dinosaurs were just whatever. I would go to the library just to read all the books about dinosaurs, look at all the pictures and stuff. It's mad how the same things keep appealing to us. There must be some part of our lizard brain.
There you go. Yeah.
What is this fucking giant thing that eats things?
And I do as well. I go back to kind of like my instinct for when I like made the results for this is like, can you at least, is there a hook? Is there some sort of hook in how you're presenting this to an audience? Does like for instance, the trailer for Supergirl, I don't think that registered for my kids. So I listen to Luke. I listen to what Luke reacts to when we're in the cinema. So Oak Street, he wanted to see Oak Street. Disclosure Day, he wanted to see Disclosure Day because of the trailer. Knew nothing else. He just wanted to see it because of that. The Odyssey, he was like, he turned to me after we watched the trailer for Odyssey, which was in front of Disclosure Day, and he said, I really want to see that film. I really want to see that film. So again, he'd no idea what it was. he just
Can I
knew,
pitch you
I want to see this.
a version of Supergirl that I think would instantly have gotten kids on board? Is you do it, first of all, you do it much brighter and much more colourful. She's not sort of a grubby drunk that's just depressed. She's pushing past that. If you did a sort of adventures in babysitting with Supergirl, where Supergirl she's a babysitter for these kids and she doesn't want to be. She's like, fuck, I don't want to be babysitting these kids. I'm a superhero. And then you just tell an arc of that character becoming far more open and joy-filled, and you put some cute kids in there, and suddenly we're endeared to her as a character because she's in a situation where we can think, God, there's nothing worse than being hungover and around kids.
Yeah.
And then having to be their ward and to protect them, and you can have a lot of fun with that. And you've all these alien worlds and what have you, and suddenly there's a very clear delineated hook for that film.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just basically the babysitter as a hero.
Yeah.
And
we're becoming the Hollywood execs here. These are the conversations that happen in across the meeting tables.
I would smash it if I was in power.
But it is a very simple thing. It is a very simple thing of like it's quite basic. It's like, hang on a second, do people want to see that? You need to sell them a product that they want.
Listen. Save trauma for the worthy adult movies. Don't put that into kids' films where it's just all about, oh, I'm so fucking sad and depressed and I just want to kill people and be angry. It's like, no, kids, don't do that. Just take them out of their fucking misery and make them laugh and make them lean forward and put some pep in their step. That's what you're supposed to. Too many people think they're artists in the film business. You're not artists. It's a collaborative art form. You're reliant on everybody else in order to make entertainment. You're entertainers. Entertain people.
Yeah. I agree. And guess what? We had the exact same thinking for Supergirl. We both went and had the mindset of, let's just go half of Superman. And so I think we both estimated 300 million. So that means it's a draw.
We should have done half of that.
We should have done half of that because it only did.
It made 126 million.
Yeah, it's really, really low, and leaves DC.
I believe it's the biggest superhero flop of the 21st century.
Wow.
It might even be the biggest flop of all time. Major superhero character. Because if you take like the old Supergirl movie and adjust it for inflation, I think it surpasses the current Supergirl. Current Supergirl made 72 million. 1984 Helen Slater Supergirl made 50 million, adjusted for inflation.
Wow, that's pretty.
I believe
shocking.
so. I could be talking up my arse there, but I do know it's a massive flop. It did worse than Morbius. It did worse than all these films that were considered.
That's terrible. It really is. So it is. It's a precarious times for the DC cinematic universe. I know they are shooting, or they have shot the second Superman film, or is that is
They're
happening?
Currently shooting it. Yeah, it's Superman against Buzz Lightyear.
Okay. I've no idea what that.
If you see Lex Luthor in his,
I actually
mech suit,
have seen what you're talking about.
He looks like Buzz Lightyear. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay.
I think it's called Man of Tomorrow, and I think Supergirl is back in that, but I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway.
Maybe. Next one was the Jackass movie, Best and Last, I believe it's called. Yeah, Best and Last.
Will it be the last? I wonder.
Did they die? Did they die? You estimated 100
million. They died
million.
at the box office.
Yeah, I estimated 80 million. All of these Jackass films have done really well at the box office.
This one felt like it never came out.
That's what I said to you. I was like, did that film come out? It only made 27 million globally, which is ridiculously poor. It's really terrible. From a scoring point of view, that meant that I actually was closest on that one. I was 53 million out, you were 73 million out. So that puts our score at 1, 2, 3, 4 to you and 1, 2, 3 to me. So it's 4-3.
4-3. This is too close for my liking.
Going back to kind of what we're talking about, kids and franchises and what they want to watch. The next Minions entry came out, Minions and Monsters, that these films have always made money, right? But what's interesting about this particular release is that globally it's made 473 million, which sounds like it's a lot of money. But out of the entire Despicable Me franchise, which includes the Minions movies, this is by far the lowest grossing one, nearly by half. Like, it's a real step down. And
It's the end of the Minions.
it's not good. They're always, I guarantee you there's another one or two in production, so they're not going to stop that tap or milking that cow. But that's not
I remember
good.
when I went to that production company. What are they called? They're called
I know, I've been there a couple of times. Like
It's
Illumination.
an amazing office.
Illumination. It's in
I
Santa
went into
Monica.
the Illumination. Yeah, I went into the Illumination office, and I was ushered into a boardroom to wait for the executive I was going to meet, just doing the typical bottle tour thing. But before they arrived, there was the minutes on the table of the last meeting, and no, it wasn't the minutes. Yeah, actually, it was the minutes because I skimmed through it, but it also included everybody that was on the meeting, and I was looking through it, and it was like 20 odd marketing people, and very few creatives. Like the writers weren't included, the director was there, the producers, but it was like all marketing people, and it was a story meeting, so it was bizarre.
Wow. Okay.
And that's going back about 10 years ago now. So
I don't know how. I've never worked on a project there, but like from what I've heard, is those films are made kind of on the boards. Like those, there's no, maybe there's.
But I had people from like Asia, the Asia marketing people as well as like. So I don't know. It could have been specifically for that. It could have been like
Maybe.
we're coming to the end, and maybe let's talk about how we're going to market this. But anyway, I just thought, why are advertising people so invested at this stage in the process of making the film?
That's interesting. But I'm more interested in who actually was closest. So I said it made 475 million worldwide. You estimated 800 million, and I estimated 980 million, which is more in keeping with its predecessors.
5-3.
You got that one. Okay, so that's 5-3 to Kevin. Then we came to, I would say it's probably the
This is
biggest.
a fun game.
Moana, the live action remake, which everyone wanted to go see. Absolutely everyone was interested in seeing Moana, the live action
they
remake.
weren't.
No, they weren't. I'm being totally sarcastic. As Ellie in my house says, wait, hang on a second, guys. Are you doing that sarcasm thing again? Because I can never tell when you're being sarcastic. And so we actually have to put that, okay, we're being sarcastic when we say that everyone wants to see Moana. This, even from the trailers, this goes back to what's the reaction to the trailer. And remember the fucking reaction to that live action Moana trailer, which was basically everyone was repulsed by the Rock CG hair, by it just being this cynical.
His rubber bodysuit.
Did he have a rubber bodysuit on? I suppose he had.
Yes,
that.
he did.
I didn't
Yes,
look
he
at it.
did.
I hadn't seen it. No one wanted to see that, but yet it still made 280 million at the worldwide box office.
You're welcome.
Oh, God.
Is The Rock over? Is he finished?
Yeah.
It feels like everything he touches turns to shit. And to be honest with you, he is the worst movie star that we've ever had. He has, like I've said this, going back 5 years ago, I was saying it to you, where I thought he's appalling. Like every single film he makes is terrible, and it's all because he's pushing it in that direction. He's a brand. He's just Coca-Cola, and I feel like he squandered his position as a movie star because he had so much charisma, but he made nothing but terrible films. There's not a single decent film in his filmography. Not one.
Okay. You put me to the test. You
might say, no, Pain and Game is all right. Pain and Game was grand. It wasn't
I haven't seen it.
movie.
See what's happening, yeah.
Or the Fast and Furious films. He was a side character in them. Character.
Okay, am I allowed to say that the Moana, the original Moana, was one of
But
his
he's a
films?
voice actor in that.
Okay, so you're talking about live action. So you're talking about live action.
I'll give you Moana, the original animated thing, but that's not really sold on The Rock.
I'm trying to actually see. He's oh my God. Okay, I'm just actually scrolling through his filmography here, and Okay,
My
he only had
position
bit
is he's
parts.
the worst movie star ever.
Hey, it's okay, it's okay.
My God. Okay, he was in Southland Tales, which I know was a big. Remember that one that you mentioned?
You're going back nearly 20 years there, and he
I
was
am
a bit
going back.
actor, a bit part in that.
Hey!
Jeez, I'm finding
And that
it
really
hard.
wasn't a great film.
Ha! I guess it's just my way of being me.
Finding it hard to find a banger. I'm finding it hard to actually look at any of these films and say, wow, I can. That's actually.
It's
Hold on a
not
second, you're
just-
totally wrong.
It's not just that they weren't great films. The majority of them were atrocious, awful films.
You're welcome.
Okay, I can't. I'm trying to find something, and I cannot find an example of a film that I could
There
point
you
to
go.
say it.
Rock, retire.
Finding it hard.
And thank you.
From our game point of view, it made 280 million. I said you estimated 600 million. I went lower.
Yeah, that was
with-
crazy.
I went 450 million, which meant I was closer by 200 million. So
5-4.
that's a score to me. Next up was Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, which we have spoken about. We all know you can go and reference when we did an episode on that a few episodes ago. That has done gangbusters. It's broken the $1 billion. It's currently at $1.1+ billion. From an estimate point of view, you went 700 million. No, you went 900 million. Sorry, 900 million.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
And I said 950 million, which means I got that one.
Oh, you can't.
Yes, that's what my mother called me. Next,
5-5.
Yeah. Are we 5-5?
So it's all, so it's all on this. It's all on
There's two
Spider-Man.
more. No, there's Evil Dead Burn. There's Evil Dead Burn and Spider-Man.
Oh, I removed that from the thing because that didn't even matter.
It does when it comes to scoring.
Okay.
So Evil Dead Burn, it's made 61 million worldwide. You had an estimate of 150 million, and I had an estimate of 100 million, which means
Oh, fuck's sake.
I'm closer on that one. So now that is 6-5 to me. That's where that is. And then finally, there's Spider-Man Brand New Day, which, as we already said, has made an absolute shit ton of money.
I've definitely won this. I've won Spider-Man.
So you estimated 1.2 billion.
Yeah, there you go.
I estimated
And you
1.1 billion. So yes, you did win that one. So
6-6.
6-6. We still do have Insidious, this Insidious movie to come out that we did put an estimate in for. But
It's just like a typical soccer match, just a draw.
it's a draw. But it's all kind of going to come down to Insidious, I think, ultimately. Anyway, so it's a draw. It's a draw. So listen, I'm delighted.
Let's to break the deadlock. Let's go by who had the biggest box office in their
Or who was
films.
overall closest? Shall we do that? Shall we do whoever was
So
overall closest?
what did Wolfwalkers make at the box office?
I've not a clue. Not a fucking clue. That came out during COVID times as well, so that's not fair.
Oh, there's always excuses.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, I'll tell you,
look, it's been
listen
a great
to-
summer.
To break the deadlock, listen, I'm going to do this. To break the deadlock, who, as according to the way we play this game, we rank it by whoever is has the closest estimates overall, if you know what I mean, the cumulative closest estimates. And my overall cumulative, how far out was I in all my estimates? I was 2.4 billion out. That's how far out I was. And you were 2 billion out. So you actually were closest when it comes to who made tightest estimates. So
Who's at the top of the box office leaderboard at the moment?
you want right now? Do you want me to refresh
Yeah.
the numbers right now?
Yeah.
Okay. To someone who's got who goes by the name of Kev, that could be anyone.
Oh, there you go.
That could be anyone.
When you're good, you're good. When you're great, you come number one.
Oh
There you go.
God! Oh, it doesn't.
And where were you on that leaderboard? Like
Currently,
you're not number 2, or I doubt it.
well,
Number
listen.
3, I doubt that.
As it currently stands, which is not the finish line. So remember that
Yeah.
in a 100-yard sprint, the finish line isn't at 80 yards, it's at 100 yards. So as it currently
We
stands...
go by meters now, Will.
Over 100 metre, I have the 80 metres. I'm in 4th position. But, listen, the finish line is still,
Go
one
on,
title
Sonia.
away. You could easily trip on your laces. You could be one of those racers who are coming towards the finish line, and you're looking over your shoulder, and you start smiling, you start
Listen,
doing a little cha-cha.
The main thing is I beat you.
And-
That's all I care about.
You haven't crossed the finish line yet. That's all I'm saying. You haven't crossed the finish line. So please embrace, take a victory lap. Please do.
Will,
before the race is
Thank
finished.
you, everyone. So I got bored of doing the box office league because I just kept winning all the time.
You didn't win it all the time. You definitely
Yeah.
didn't win it all the time. No way. But anyway, it was a fun game to play. It was really interesting to look back on, like contextualize the season in this way. And movies are back, baby. Movies are fucking back.
They are. I'm glad.
Yeah, it's great.
Well, there you go. That'll do as an episode, I think. Do you want to do the wrap up?
This episode couldn't happen, or the show couldn't happen.
This episode was sponsored.
by our patrons. So
Oh, it was actually.
Yeah, absolutely. So we wouldn't be able to do the show if it wasn't for the generous patronage of our patrons. And if you want to become a patron, to just head on over to the Patreon website for the Patreon website for whatever page for Screenplay, and for probably the
Slick as shit. That's what we are.
less than the price of a cup of coffee a month, which is a cup of coffee is now like at $3.90 or something like that, or $3.60 depending where you go to. We're less
Maybe in
than that.
Donegal it is. No, it's nearly a $5 here.
Whoa, it's still in the threes here, up in this neck of the woods. You get an extra bonus show every month, which is...
But they spit in your coffee up there, don't they? They don't put any hot water in it.
You get fresh goat's milk. That's what you get up here. You get access to our bonus show, which is as long as this, but it's us talking about much more topical stuff and much more. We have the crack on that one.
You also get way more ums and ahs in those episodes, So
Those are we need to upsell this, Kevin. We need to upsell. We get a lot more stories than those ones as well. You also get access to our Discord, where we hang out with our friends, and it's just fun times.
Friends.
If you do not listen, I understand it's difficult times out there. You can support us in other ways, which is the usual thing of just give us a like, write a review. If you do write a review, we'll take a check. If you want to do hire one of those planes that do sky lettering or writing in the sky, we'll take that as well. Just give us an upvote.
Let them know we exist.
All right, okay. Look,
take care, everybody. Talk to you soon.
They procrastinate on mic, but they mean every word. Turn a hot topic hot, take into a hot mic mistake. Film and TV chat, two pros who got a lot to say. Screenplay. One is Will, he's an award winner. One is Kev, he knows the will. Screenplay. Subscribe, like, share. Screenplay. Two Irish Hawks. Screenplay. Banter skits and shite talk. Screenplay. The best film and TV podcast.